I have three photographs in this exhibit of White Lotus Gallery in Eugene. And the first one was taken many years ago on Fall Creek, which is just about an hour from Eugene. This has been, since my childhood, a very favorite place for hiking and kayaking. And I've, my entire life, gone back to Fall Creek. It's especially significant to me now because this photograph is, because the scene that was taken isn't there anymore. It was destroyed in a fire. And so the whole forest burned up, and it really has not regenerated since then at all. So this makes this photograph even more important to me. There were no great difficulties getting there. It's close to home, and it's just one of my favorite places. I think my favorite part about the photograph is that there's a motion to it, a movement, and it's going somewhere. And I can personally, as I look at it, follow the stream, the Fall Creek, into a corner where it disappears into kind of a misty forest. So that's the first photograph in the group. I should also say that it's a cibachrome or an ilfochrome photograph, a print that I made myself in the darkroom. The technology of making the ilfochrome prints is not available anymore. The material is no longer made, so there will be no more cibachrome or ilfochrome photographs unless somebody reinvents it. So this photograph is completely one of a kind now, because I can't get the material to print anymore. This photo was taken about a year ago on Roscoe Inlet in northern British Columbia. And the print, since I cannot make cibachrome prints anymore, was done digitally by photographing my slide and then printing it digitally. Walt O'Brien did the printing, and he did a very nice job of the print. I regret that I can't print anymore, but as long as I have Walt to print for me, still I can make a wonderful image. The subject matter is a stoneware for catching fish. Indigenous Northwest peoples lived largely in that area on the coast off of course, fish and seafood. And at high tide, the fish would swim into the stone in its circle, and then they would, the natives would would close off the entrance to the fishware, and it would capture the water, and then when the water would go out, they'd grab the fish. And I love this subject matter because I'm very interested in stone structures that were made in early times, and this stone structure could be anywhere from hundreds of years old to many thousands of years old. It's completely unclear how old it is. But for me, I love the interaction between a natural landscape and what appears now to be a human addition to the landscape that fits the place. So that's my attraction to the subject matter. Getting there was a little more difficult than getting to Fall Creek. It's a small boat trip up many miles of coast. And difficult navigation. Fortunately, my brother-in-law has the boat, and he took me in there. And so there are lots of these fishwares up there. This is the most beautiful one that I can remember, but it's a common way of catching fish for local peoples. This photograph, Sandstone Whale Cove, was taken on the Oregon coast at a place called Whale Cove near Depot Bay. Very beautiful marine sanctuary, and it's easy to get to from here. It's a couple hours drive, and one can stand on the highway and look down into the cove. My attraction and what interested me in this particular photograph was the creation of a landscape in a natural setting. In other words, the design on the rock is what created what appears to be a landscape. And that's probably obvious when you look at it, but I like that kind of when one thing can become another, and there's some ambiguity about what you're looking at. It takes a second look at least to figure out what's going on. Once again, this is a digital print from in this case, a Fujichrome slide and medium format Fujichrome slide. I think that the combination of the way Walter Bryan printed it and just the contrast, color, and design, for me anyways, I get an emotional reaction when I see it, and that's something I almost always am hoping happens in a photograph. When I can look at it and get a feeling, it evokes a specific emotional feeling. That's the kind of photograph that I tend to be attracted to again and again.